Hey guys, day done and dusted. That means only one thing. Round of 16 matches have concluded. Well, at least for Monday anyway. And tomorrow, we've got the quarterfinals. So all the round of 16 matches have been done. We've got the quarterfinals set. Yes, of course. Yep, you guessed it. Quarterfinal previews will be out as well for the big matches. So do keep an eye out for those. I'm going to be going through the matches from today. We're going to also do a preview, a short preview of tomorrow's quarterfinals as well. Of course, I'll go into it in more detail in the preview videos on the quarterfinals, so make sure you tune in for those. If you haven't already, make sure you click the notification bell to get alerted to all the new videos that we upload. Also, click the like button to this video. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you so much for your support. If you're a podcast listener, then make sure you, on whatever platform you're on, subscribe, follow, leave a rating or review, all that good stuff. Thank you very much. Right, let's get into this then. Rafael Nadal versus Van der Zandschulp. Thank you everyone who joined for the live watch along for that. It was really good fun as always. And yeah, no double header this time, but it was fun nonetheless. It wasn't as straightforward as the scoreline suggests. I think the first set was very tight. Nadal got the break at 5-4 with Van der Zandschulp. I think just really gifting him the break a little bit. And I think the pressure getting to him at 5-4. He's not super experienced still. Van der Zandschulp, who's still very, very green. So in Grand Slam experience anyway. So I think he will progressively get better. And I do see him making potentially like a semi-final or maybe even a final of a Grand Slam in his career potentially at some point. If the draw, kind of is favorable to him as well, you never know. And he's continually increasing his ranking. So let's see how far he can go in the future. But some positive signs there, especially in the third set where Nadal's 5-2 up. He fought back really nicely. He's clearly got quality about him. Some massive serving at times, 130 miles per hour plus, a lot of aces as well. But not just that, on the ground strokes, some huge backhands, huge forehands. He has a little bit of everything. Pretty good at the net. Just Nadal had a little bit more. And Nadal, I think, served really well. His second serve was like exceeding 100 miles per hour at times, which was crazy. I never see Rafa serving that big on the second serve. So that was, I think, a good sign, especially because he hardly hit any double faults, just the one for the day, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, or two for the day even. So look at that, 9 aces, though, 11 for Botic. The 7 double faults, not ideal for the Dutch player. And I just think generally Nadal played better. Better shot tolerance, managed to hit, I think, the ball a lot deeper as well, like we've seen against Sonego. And then I think maybe he played slightly better against Sonego. But here in this match, I guess similar to that match was his willingness to go deep into court with the ground strokes and come to the net at the right times. For the most part, there were some fantastic passing shots from Botic, but generally he was good at the net, volleying well. So that was positive, I think. He will face Taylor Fritz in the next round, the quarterfinals, who beat Kubler in straight sets. So a good win for him. Very solid win for the American. And I have to say, he's playing some great tennis. Of course, he did beat Rafa Nadal at Indian Wells this year. Yes, Nadal had the injury, the kind of cracked ribs. And Taylor Fritz, of course, had a foot injury as well. He had a kind of ankle niggle. So both should be relatively fit, I'd imagine. I know Nadal got asked about strapping on his abs, and he's already kind of talked about it. And I think, look, they are going to both be fully fit unless something happens from now until Wednesday. So yeah, it'll be an interesting match. We'll get into that, I guess, in more detail though on the quarterfinal preview video. Kyrgios came through a very tough match against Nakashima. 20-year-old from the US, I have to say, haven't seen a huge deal of him. He's really impressive for a 20-year-old. And I think we will start talking about him in the breadth of he's already being talked about in the same sentence as someone like a Korda, but some other players as well. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself and say that he's kind of in the same bracket as like a Sinner or Alcaraz, but he's a good player. He is. He's, again, got a little bit of everything. Pretty solid. And it's great to see. He's got a potent serve as well. He took the first set against Kyrgios. Mentally was really good. Didn't give Kyrgios anything. Kyrgios had a shoulder niggle, which he was getting looked at. Got it massaged every kind of changeover in the end. And it did help, I think. In the end, he came through, though. He was 2-1 up, won a tiebreaker. Can you believe it? I know. First time for everything, eh? I mean, he did win the tiebreaker against Tsitsipas, and maybe that's the start of the end of his barren run in tiebreakers. I think he was like 6-9. He was going into this match 6-9 in tiebreakers, which is not great, right? Christian Garin caused a massive upset for me. Alex de Minaur, this is a massive missed opportunity. I think he choked a little bit, to be honest with you, in the most, I guess it might be quite a harsh way of saying it, but I think it's probably the most honest way. He was 2 sets to love up and then got taken to a tiebreaker when I was on serve. Lost a tiebreaker 7-3, so obviously he wins that. He wins the match. Then from there, he lost 6-4 and then 7-6 in the final set tiebreaker. Lost the final set tiebreaker 10-6. Look, I mean, the one thing I will say is that it was clearly a fight. I mean, yes, I can say it was a choke, but then the third, fourth, and fifth sets were all very tight, right? 2 tiebreakers and a 6-4. I mean, he didn't roll over clearly, but he'll be disappointed, to say the least, because he was in a very commanding position. And going into that tiebreak, he was probably thinking about the quarterfinals. Maybe he was, and maybe that's why he took his eye off the ball a little bit and then gave away the lead. So it will be Christian Garin versus Nick Kyrgios. Kyrgios a massive favourite, like he was today against Nakashima. Not quite sure how he handles that tag, whether he likes it or not. I don't think he does as much. But he, of course, then will face the winner of Fritz Nadal. So it's a chance for him to make his first ever semi-final of a Grand Slam. Anisimova versus Tan, great win from her. I have to say, Harmony Tan is such a tricky opponent. So many forehand slices, just so many angles, so many short balls. Anisimova, though, to beat her in straight sets, I think is pretty impressive. She's dangerous. She is really dangerous. Simona Halep versus Paula Badosa, 6-1, 6-2. Great win from the Romanian, I have to say. Badosa, disappointing. I was watching and just way too many unforced errors. Struggling. I know Halep played really well in the first set and she got breadstick. That can happen. Second set, though, Halep wasn't playing as well, but Badosa gave it away big time after holding serve, I think 1 or 2 times. And then it was just, it was disappointing. It really was, just to see, because Badosa is a player who has a lot of talent, but she's still pretty young at 24, 25. But I don't know. I think if you're 4 in the world or seeded 4 in this tournament, she should be making the semi-finals is what the projection is. But I don't think she's ever made a semi-final of a slam even. We'll see. I'm kind of wondering whether she's going to be a top 25 player who may win a kind of a, who's kind of happy to win, a couple of Masters tournaments and maybe a 500 and a 250, etc. Or whether she's going to be one of those players who can win 1 or 2 Grand Slams, right? So we'll see. Is she going to be like a Muguruza who's won a couple of Grand Slams? Or is she going to be someone like, I don't know, who's a good example? Like Kanepi, right? Made a couple of good runs in Grand Slams, but just never really won one. She's never won one, right? And again, like, not really going to talk about it. So we'll see. How she gets on. Cornet lost to Tomljanovic in 3 sets. Very tight match. Tomljanovic winning 4-6, 6-4, 6-3. And Rybakina won in straight sets against Martic. Great win for Rybakina. I said she'd win as well. I think I got all of these right apart from the Halep Badosa one. So, yeah, not too bad from me. Right, let's talk about tomorrow's matches then. So we've got Maria versus Niamia. I mean, I'm going to go Maria. I'm going to go for the fairy tale to continue. I hope it does. I'm really, really, really happy for her. So hopefully she gets through. And then Jabeur versus Pliskova. I'm going to go with Jabeur. I think she's just going to have too much. Yes, she is going to be the overwhelming favorite in every single match she plays now. There will be some pressure on her, but I just think as long as she doesn't have a terrible start to her first set and say she's like 3-love, 4-love down, I think she'll be fine. And I think she'll kind of find her way and feel her way into it. I think if someone comes out guns blazing, she could struggle potentially then to kind of recover. But generally, like, she's, in my opinion, the best player left in the field. You could maybe say Halep or maybe Anisimova, for example. I think quality-wise, she should be able to beat those guys if she plays her best tennis, but we'll see. Men's singles tomorrow, we have Djokovic Senna, which I'm going to do a full quarterfinal preview for. So do keep an eye out for that video. That'll be released pretty much soon after this video. And then Goffin versus Norrie. I mean, I want to go with Norrie, but it's going to be a tough one. Goffin's in great form. Can't wait for that. I think it's going to be fantastic. And there must be some men's doubles on like centre court, no? Then what's going on tomorrow? No, court 2. Oh no, weird. Oh, I think they've got the Legends tournament. Anyway, Legends tournament games on there, which is going to be interesting. Cool. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Do appreciate it. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. See you guys later. Thank you.